Talk Show.
It's a daily talk show episode 413.
It's weekend banter. What's going on, guys?
Clap it in.
Well, it's
the worst.
It doesn't sound like a normal show because we are not in our studio. We are right now at Joey Scandizzo Salon in South Yarra, and Mr. 97, he doesn't have a mic. I've got a mic in my hand.
He's shaking. You can't hold a mic today with what's about to happen.
I've had to hold it for it. Yeah. Where are we, mate?
Oh, we're getting my hair bleached.
This is happening, and we do have Queen Gronk.
Here she is. She's back.
Queen Gronk, who's by your right?
Rache Vitullo, 2019 Australian Colourist of the Year.
Oh,
hi guys.
Is this your award? Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I was wondering what was underneath your bomber jacket just now.
Rachel, you won Creative Colourist of the Year 2019.
Yes, I did.
We're in safe hands with you doing Mr. 97's bleach job.
Yes.
Is there any difference between going blonde and bleaching? Because we've been using...
We've got no idea.
We butchered the terminology.
Rach, I need to, for context, they are just big babies.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they aren't fed and watered, they will shit their pants.
Yeah, Rachel almost looked like it was a trick question, but no, we're just pretty stupid. So yeah, is there a difference between bleaching and blonde or no?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
So depending on the hair that I'm working with, so if your hair is natural, never been coloured before, there is the option of using other things other than bleach to achieve a blonde result. But it all depends on how blonde you want to go, the underlying pigment of your natural colour, how light you want to be, end result. So that's what's going to change between whether we use bleach, which is like a lightening powder, which is like the professional way of saying it, lightener powder.
Yeah. Is it actually powder? Because I remember my mum used to put a paste on my hair. Is that different? What she would have been?
Did your mum win Colourist of the Year?
No. I think in Berwick, maybe. No, there was literally no awards. But yeah, is there a difference between the at-home bleach that you do and this type of one, or is it fairly standard?
In terms of the way it looks the same.
Yeah.
But essentially it's a lightening powder mixed in with like peroxide to create a paste. But sometimes the cheaper lightening powders don't perform as well as what professional.
Okay.
Queen Gronk, before we before I give Mason the microphone, I've gone serious. I've called him Mason. Before I give Mason the microphone,
I'm like, who is that?
to ask questions to calm his anxieties on this whole thing. A little Q&A between Rachel and Mr. 97. You got any questions?
I mean, not really. This has been a really good opportunity for me to show how much industry pull that I have. I've sort of done it under the guise of being like, you know what, I really care about Mr. 97 and I don't want this to be a hack job. But in reality, it's been me going, let me make a few calls.
Yeah, let's book him into the best salon in Melbourne, in South Yarra.
I got this.
All right, Mr. 97, microphone over to you. I know you've been feeling anxious all week.
We've been meditating. It's organised August, and so you were meditating.
Yeah.
You've meditated today. So he's calmer than what he was at the beginning, to be honest. Yeah. But go on. Feel free to ask Rachel some.
So with well, I got a few questions to knock off. Yeah. The difference between the bleach and blonde, because the guys were talking. We had Andy from Fixo on the show yesterday. And they were talking about me bleaching my hair, and then I said that
we
I was going to go
colour.
Yeah, and I said blonde. Yeah, and so what is the difference between bleach and blonde?
Oh my.
Well, essentially, bleach is the application, so the actual product that I use.
Okay.
The end result is you being blonde.
Okay.
But blonde has a full spectrum of shades within it.
There's so many different versions of blonde that you can be.
Okay.
What a lot of my clients like to do is leave it in my hands.
Okay.
In regards
I'm happy to do
That's what you will be doing. Don't ask him questions.
Totally.
That's when she brings up this and just says,
so leave
it in my
hand.
hand. Yeah. Perfect.
So essentially you want to make sure that, and to create the perfect blonde is really hard.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to the client that sits in my chair. So whether or not they've got a pink skin pigment or a yellow skin pigment, whether they wear a full coverage foundation or not.
Guilty.
Yep, story of my life. Whether or not they wear bright colours or whether they go more neutral tones, if they want low maintenance, high maintenance, that sort of thing.
So based on Mr. 97's wardrobe,
I was
because
going to
this
say,
Yes.
the timing couldn't be better because the new wardrobe is very neutral,
Yeah.
very
Yes.
pared back.
Yes.
and so what would based on his wardrobe of I don't know, a khaki green, is that or what sort of green? It's a green colour.
Yeah, are you not
Greenish,
are you more of
greyish.
a neutral
Yeah,
guy?
neutral, yeah.
Well, and I can tell that you have more of a pink skin pigment
Yeah, yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
So essentially with pink skin pigments, cool tones suit a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with males, cool tones actually complement a male's skin tone a lot more than what warm tones do. When you are colouring a guy's hair, whether or not it's like keeping it brown or blonde, keeping it on the cool flat tones just complement really well. So in what I'm going to try to achieve today is more of that cool neutral result.
Okay, perfect.
This is why
No
I
M&M.
intervened.
Yeah.
Because where you went wrong, circa 03,
I mean, 03 it was very
it was
fashionable.
yellow. Yellow is warm.
Yeah,
Your
caramel.
skin tone, not warm.
Yeah, that
Did you
was-
just say caramel?
It was a caramel.
Not even close to caramel.
Yeah,
It was yellow.
It was slightly yellow. There
Was
was
it
a yellow.
a professional job?
Absolutely
no,
not.
absolutely not.
Right.
I'll bring up the photo.
Get the photos.
You'll
Yeah,
get the
because
photo.
I was going to say you're so fair naturally. You
You're
could
going to
achieve
fall
a
sick.
white blonde really easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's a
so
hot mess.
and
Yeah.
so from
Love
colour
that.
wise, what are you thinking, Tommy?
Oh, mate, I mean, it's up to you. I trust you more than anyone in this room when it comes to anything to do with hair.
So 2003.
You're welcome.
So this was my hair in 2003.
That's M&M.
No, that is Slim Shady. Wow.
Now it's much worse.
Will gel change the colour though? Because there was a lot of gel in the hair.
So
at that
what
time.
happens is when you use like a high shine product
Yeah.
and you take a photo, it reflects more light, which adds into the warm result.
Okay.
So yeah,
Now,
2 minute noodles for sure.
just to know what you're dealing with, Mr. 97's hair is pretty much bamboo.
Yes.
It's very thick, luscious. He uses coconut oil on the daily.
Bamboo is a weird choice of an
Yeah.
analogy.
What?
It's abundant. It's almost a weed.
Yeah.
I mean, this came from a guy who's losing his hair rapidly, so I'm projecting slightly.
So, Rachel, I'm happy for you to just do your thing.
Great.
And what do we do from here? What's the next step?
So because you've never coloured your hair before, that cancels out consultation in that sort of point there. But I always like to under-promise and try and overachieve.
So it's going to look shit.
Yeah, 100%. No. So I always just let my client know that I will try my best to get you there. Can't make any promises. And then also like to let you know that having an on-scalp liner, you will notice you'll have a tingling sensation on your scalp.
Okay.
And if at any point it is too much, scream my name out, I'll come and take it off.
All right.
But you'll be fine. Like I've done this.
You'll be fine.
And I was actually watching your podcast when you were talking about when you were saying that you were coming in, getting your hair done and all of that. And so obviously like there's a lot of pressure on all of this. But you were on the podcast, they were saying, I think you guys were saying, I wonder when it was the last time that I've actually done this on someone.
yeah.
It's actually really common. Like I do this a lot. Especially on a lot of guys. I actually did this last week. So
perfect.
it is a long process.
Okay.
So essentially I'll put the colour on and then it may take about an hour to process.
Okay.
So once it's lifted to the level that I need, we're going to tone it.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about at-home care.
Well,
Okay,
he's
great.
have to use
Toning is
purple-
where you went wrong
Yeah.
as well.
Which I saw, yeah.
I had purple hair shampoo all the time.
Yes.
Like I actually thought that was the only shampoo you could buy for a while because Mum was always buying toner.
She was trying to fix your hair, mate.
Yeah, yeah. It was a
stuffed.
secret
Yeah.
fix.
All right, because this is going to take some time.
Yes, we'll
and
get the
we're in
ball
a
rolling.
bustling salon it's pre-open, so it will be going crazy pretty soon. I think you can take it away.
Great.
Ben.
So do we just sit here? Can we
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
of
continue?
course you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Jam,
All right.
the
Yo.
YouTube, your YouTube, you did a video on. Is it called balayage?
Yes, I think at the time we were calling it ombre, but it has
Ombre,
many.
okay.
See,
Is
I
balayage
can-
correct or no?
Yeah, I can do home stuff because A, I don't have virgin hair, and B, I mean, you can't really go wrong with this. I have excellent hair. It's important to know your strengths.
Yeah.
That is one of them.
I feel like, you know, when you go to, I feel like we're a kind of show that will do it from a place that's won Best Vanilla Slice, but also on the window, Salon of the Year.
I did this. I did this for you.
Yeah.
This is diversity.
Who would call in the PR favour for a Bakery of the Year?
Yeah, well, there's
We've got
so
someone
many.
out there.
Yeah, surely we
Trev
can.
Long would know somebody, would he?
Next time we come in, because we're obviously 97's going to have to get some touch-ups. Actually, that's a
he's going to love it so much, he's going to keep doing it.
Rache, is it going to get better over time? The microphone 97 is it,
He's rattled.
He's absolutely rattled. Over time, do you think that this sort of hairstyle gets better, like day 1 versus day 30 and 60 and 90? What's it going to change?
It really depends on what look you're going for. So a lot of my male clients that I've transitioned into an on-scalp lightener, professional terms, than a bleach, an on-scalp lightener, they've actually preferred how it looks in the first week versus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. But it all depends. Like if a lot of guys like to have that darker, like their natural pop through on the root for
Bit
a
of
little bit
regrowth.
more tonal texture. Yeah, 100%.
Balayage.
This is Adam Levine. I'm trying to. I mean, that's what I like.
Love that.
He looks great. I mean, I put his face on
Gold.
Mr. 97's face onto Adam.
So you think you'll
Levine.
pull a Victoria's Secret model after this? Because he did.
He did.
So we'll get him on the books with a few agencies, Vivian's and all that sort of thing. Because I think there's definitely the opportunity for some form of modelling. Because it does seem to have the...
I was in at Chic head office during the week. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'd be very keen.
I mean, so what will he, from a hair point of view, I wonder what sort of brands are looking specifically for the... what did you call it, Rache? The scalp lined... What's the official term?
On-scalp lightener.
On-scalp lightener, which is the only way I refer to it now.
On scalp. Hang on, wait. What's that term referring to?
Bleaching. On-scalp liner.
Scalp bleach.
Okay.
Just a professional.
Yeah, it's a much nicer term.
On-scalp liner.
Because it doesn't have undertones of suburban mishaps.
Well, bleach you use in the toilet as well, right? So there's like many uses of bleach.
I just want to tell you a bit of a nightmare story, Rache, that I've told on this podcast quite a few times, because it was horrific. When I was young, Josh and we both got tips, used the skull cap, but then I also just got some like foils, because this is what you did in the 90s.
Of course.
It
Early
hurt less.
2000.
Well,
Yeah,
foils, when we found out that you could get a look that didn't involve your mum stabbing
I know.
through.
Your
It's
mum
the
did it?
worst.
Yeah. That's why
that's the problem. I mean, it still hurts at a salon.
Gemma
getting
has
the
said I
thing.
can't mention my scalp conditions anymore.
Anyway, the woman
It's
dropped
not on
some.
brand.
The woman dropped some bleach on my t-shirt and then just wiped it off, right? And I was like, oh, is that going to be okay? She's like, yeah, it'll be fine. The next day, my favourite t-shirt
Ruined.
went orange.
Story of my life.
Still salty.
Story of my life.
So watch out for his fast fashion.
Rach might be developing something to counter that.
oh, really?
Watch
Stay
this
tuned.
space.
Yeah, watch this space.
Like a big curtain or something that you sort of wear.
Not quite.
Okay.
Little more.
Scientific.
sexier.
a little sexier.
All right, I'll take
the
them away.
hairline
Mr. 97, you can put one arm out just because I want to know just every
Uh-huh.
few minutes how you're feeling and how, he's shaking. How
You
are you
truly
feeling,
in
though?
the best hands.
How are you feeling, Mr. 97?
Surprisingly, not too bad. I thought I was going to be way more nervous, just like leading up to it. But I think with Gemma pulling some strings, it's perfect.
What about us? Are we helping?
No.
I didn't even
Nah,
pull
nah.
strings. I just made a call.
Yeah.
I made one phone call.
Have you thought? I mean, this really makes you think about your visual appearance. You're thinking of self.
Your aesthetic.
If you're going deep, you're a meditator now. I mean, you've been in the game for quite some time. 2 days, 3 days.
Was today the food meditation? Did I see
That's
that
tomorrow.
on?
Tomorrow's the food meditation, a piece of chocolate.
Christ.
What do you mean? You're thinking about chocolate, or you eat chocolate?
No, you eat chocolate and you have to be
right.
mindful about the
Mindful.
sensations.
No, because a lot of
Josh
no,
would be
no,
so
I get
down
it.
to meditate.
I've been
I get it. It sounds
meditating
super
every time.
erotic though, but you've got to be like thinking, because when you learn to meditate, you learn about
The sensory.
feeling
Yeah,
the
it's-
floor under you.
Yeah, it's
so
about the
visually.
sensory.
It's about being aware
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
So sense of self, like really identifying as this character with, brown hair, chiseled cut, just an absolute fox. How, like, are you thinking more about how you look? Like, are you thinking about your appearance a lot more?
No, not really. I mean, I think about it when it gets bad, as in like my hair's like all thick and stuff. I think about my appearance then when I've got like my hair's getting long. But other than that,
Do you think you're vain?
a little bit.
Really,
The
your
cut
vein.
looks great.
Yeah,
I'm just
no, it
looking
looks-
at it now. It looks really nice.
Yeah, he's done an epic job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've because if you haven't watched the video online, you wouldn't know that you went over to King Domain's barber shop, and Aaron did a cut. He's done a fade, which I think is he described it as an optical illusion. You're not meant to be able to see the line.
yeah.
Which, I think
We're
it
getting
does the
some
job.
hairdresser terms. You got a fade, otherwise known as an optical illusion in the barber world.
No, but it looks great. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I think that I'll be interested to know the products and stuff. Like, what is it going to take?
God, the questions you asked over there, dude.
What do you mean?
Selfish.
What
They
was
were
that?
all.
I removed myself.
Yeah,
from
I
the
got out of there
situation.
because you
Yeah.
just asked. It was just like.
I just wanted to know, like, well, Aaron was saying every 3 to 4
4 weeks, yeah.
to get a
For men,
haircut.
certainly.
If you want to keep that cut. So, okay, right now, Rachel has got a comb. She's got her black gloves on, very stylish. Any reason why you go black? Is it just on fleek at the moment?
Yeah, it just matches
Just, okay.
everything I wear.
Yeah,
Look,
But
we've
also
worked out
looks
that's a
lot
bad idea.
Nicer than the really clear, gross gloves that
Not
you
on
get
brand.
From the store.
Yeah.
Not on
Yeah,
brand.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, the
yeah.
black looks great. Like, I trust like an American barbecue place when they're dealing with the brisket
So
with the
similar
gloves.
as well.
That's my.
I mean, where
reference
you spend
point.
most of your time, that's what your references are.
I get that.
I'm seeing a thing of, like, it looks a bit purple, this bleach.
No,
Like
it's blue.
Oh, it's blue.
Yeah, it's blue base.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Don't get too
Can I have a
close.
little sniff?
Oh my god.
I mean, I like the smell of being at the
no worries,
hairdresser.
that's all good.
Yeah.
That's all good.
I love it. One of my favourite things is actually getting my hair washed at a salon. I just lie
Same.
back and
The
just-
massage.
Usually I
element,
don't like contact with other humans, but
You don't mind
scalp
it.
massage.
What's the craziest haircut you've ever had, Gem? Have you ever gone super short or done a perm?
I do all sorts of. I've been fully blonde before.
Mm-hmm.
My sort of MO is I grow it really long and then I cut it to sort of, collarbone length,
That's what
just
I
to
do.
really shock people.
Fringe.
Wild. I've done a fringe. I think I want to bring the fringe back.
Don't bring the
But
fringe
like,
back.
no, it looks really good. I did on my Instagram.
I did see that.
Like a half sort of that sort of thing.
Sort of like the halfy.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
I-
that worked.
Isn't it funny how
Like if only there was someone around here. That
yeah.
could do that for
I
me.
need my neck fixed up. I might head back over to Aaron soon. Get that done.
I actually shaved for today. No one noticed, but it's not about me. But
I was going to wear my tiara, and I thought, hey, Jen, it's not your day.
Rachel, how much would someone pay to come and have their hair bleached?
a scalp in
By me.
lined.
Yeah, by you. What are
What's
we
the
working
rise?
with here?
It's around, really depending on the hair length, but it can vary from around 300 to 500.
Wow.
Whoop, there
Wow,
it is.
Have you got that server money on you?
Yeah. 97, I think this is.
97 built a online gaming server when he was a kid, made all this money, and he's got it stored away. So we always, when the business is going pear-shaped, we dip into
Yeah.
it.
He had a Minecraft server business.
Oh, I thought my custom MySpace coding business was.
Were you really doing that?
Yeah, that was my first. That's how I first solicited money from people in high school.
You were like the Mark Zuckerberg of bowling.
Well, yeah, I would just make everyone's MySpace pretty for them.
Did you? I remember like having the great thing about MySpace is it felt like it was more personality driven. You could have your own.
Absolutely.
You could have your own songs.
Choosing the song was. Whew. For a long time, I had that. I mean, not theme song, but that bit from Psycho. So when people would come onto my MySpace, it was
Chilling.
Just, yeah.
The
that's nice.
I remember using the view source feature to be able to see who people's top friends were.
Of course. I just put and then I realised people were doing that because like I'm really good at coding and stuff, really tech savvy. So then I just put my top friends as all like Britney Spears.
Ah, that's a good
Paris
idea.
Hilton. So then They had no idea.
But couldn't you see what did you used to do to be able to reveal?
View
Sorry, I wasn't
But
listening.
then
I was
you
looking. Mr. 97's actually getting a paintbrush with the bleach going straight on.
Should we get Karen in nice and close?
Yeah. So we've got Karen here, who's our gimbal weapon.
Karen,
and,
come on in, get in close.
And she
don't mind the cameras.
Don't mind the
that's all right.
cameras. And we've
got
a full production here.
Yeah, we've
guys.
got Hayden Dib.
Hayden, you can pan between now. We've got Karen on the case.
Which the nickname for Hayden, I want to.
Oh yeah. So Hayden's going to be starting to spending some time.
Yeah.
With the
Gronk squad.
With the Gronk squad.
And the nickname that I want to give him is Honey.
Honey. Honey Boo Bear. Honey Bear.
Well, I've gone straight to the Jessica Alba movie.
No, well, the
Are
reason
you
is...
a dancer?
Well, I mean, I just need to preface before that he usually refers to himself as the Lebanese Rambo.
That's
Lebanese
nice.
I mean,
I
there's a lot of
call myself that too. Oddly enough.
there's a lot of Lebanese jokes in the office coming from him.
But so, no, the idea of Honey was because this morning before we got here, I asked if he wanted a coffee, and he said he wanted a flat white with honey.
Who is this guy?
And this is at a cafe. And so I asked him, legitimately, I asked him, is that a stitch-up order? Am I going to ask for honey and they're going to laugh at me? And he said, no, we're serious.
People order it. It's just that they are 85-year-old women.
Yeah, but did you... I
so
imagine
weird.
honey in a green tea, in a tea maybe, or a
I think-
breakfast tea.
Chai.
A chai, you'd have some honey. Yeah, it was... So it was one of those things where when you ask a bunch of people, anyone want a coffee? And then you get the weird orders.
See, as a long black woman, I just judge everyone that's having even a drop of milk. You
Are you-
bitch.
Can we get that as a snippet? That was something about
But all
Jem
of my-
calling me a bitch. Right.
But I think if you drink long blacks, you're more likely to be a serial killer or a psychopath or
Well,
something.
that's 3D
3D
deal.
deal loves a long
Yeah,
black.
that makes
I got
sense.
him yesterday. I got him yesterday an almond latte because Josh was having one. But honey, I'm a bit worried about that. It seems.
I wouldn't be worried. I have honey in my sedative tea that I have in the evening.
No, but I mean, just as a nickname, I don't know if.
Oh, you don't like the nickname Honey?
I think there's probably.
You also
something-
thought Organised August wasn't going to be a thing, and
I'm
it's
into it.
absolutely blown
I
up.
love
Look,
Organised
let's
August.
address the elephant in the room. Actually, he's not in the room. He's in bloody a studio in Sydney, 2GB headquarters.
Yeah,
Ben
Ben
Fordham.
That
All
was
right.
wild.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
He's getting right behind Organised August. But I just think the thing with Organised August is I think it's a low barrier to entry. Anyone can get involved. Everyone has something that they need to organise.
Yeah.
And so whether it's the wallet or whether it's yesterday's one was the taking your phone out of your room. Do you sleep with your phone near you?
Yeah, but it's not next to my bed.
Where is it? It's in your bed.
It's in my hand. No, I put it out of reach over the dressing table.
Okay, but it's still in
So
your
I
room.
but it's so that when my alarm goes off,
You
I
have to
have to
get
get up and turn it off. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, well, I'm already up.
Are you one to put your alarm on for, say if you had to leave the house at 7, what time are you putting the alarm on for?
6.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends.
Why is that funny?
Just the question.
Yeah.
Even Mason laughed.
What? Is that not a legitimate question?
And
This
well,
morning
and
I
then we're
got
going to
up
run
at
through your
6.
breakfast routine and
Coffee.
We've already done that. We're working through it.
But it because often I don't have to leave the house at 7.
Yeah.
I normally exercise in the mornings because I'm really fit and stuff. But this morning I didn't.
No, because I find it interesting.
quick check in with Mr. 97. He's got a mic in his hand.
How are you feeling?
You look great.
It's good. It just feels like there's a bit of paste on my head.
There is.
I had a moment where I was like, there is no turning back right
Oh, I know.
now.
I was thinking that just before.
Like, there is no turning back.
Well, you can always change it back to his natural colour after.
For another $540.
And so, do you have to? I believe my brother, when we were kids, did that, but he had to dye it red before he went to brown or black. Is that a thing?
Well, when I was in high school, and I had a lot of friends that went from blonde to brunette, that was essentially the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But now with technology of colour, as long as you redeposit the pigment that was lost when lightning in your colour, if that makes sense. So
To me, it does.
Yeah.
To these
I'm a
two.
copper.
so there's 3 stages of lightning, really depending on how dark you are naturally. So in this situation here, the first colour that will appear is red, then it'll go to orange, and then it'll go to yellow.
Interesting.
And then we counteract that tone once we get it to the lightest level possible. That's the aim of the game today. So essentially when you're going darker, you have to re-put those pigments back in order for it to not look green or blue or cack. So
Cack.
Cack.
What's cack?
Like that.
Carrie Ann Kennelly.
Is cack the colour of
Sort of, yeah.
97's top? Cack.
Yeah. So you do have to re-put that pigment into your colour when you go back to your natural, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that 2-stage process like it used to.
Do you always
So
have to...
glad we're not doing this.
Yeah.
ourselves.
I mean,
Yeah, I cannot stress to you enough how good this will be.
And we're also like the carpet at the office is going to be fine now because
Oh, yeah.
TJ was Tommy was worried about the
Like
carpet.
if we spilt a little bit on the carpet, that's a full
I got
pull-up.
stressed. I was in Sydney and I had no involvement with this. And then I am listening and then, we'll have to get Gemma in. I think she's in Sydney at the moment. And I'm like, hang on. I didn't put my hand up.
Yeah.
We nearly did it in the garage from it with a little...
Wouldn't have
so
thought.
do we have to put toner in this? No matter what, do you always end by putting toner in a scalp lining session?
Not necessarily. Really
You saying
depending
lining?
on
What is
lightning.
it? Lightning.
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 You were getting confused between the what was the other one?
Yeah.
The-
Look, he's thinking
At
about
least
his
my job's not in
folliculitis.
jeopardy.
Let's be honest.
You were not allowed to mention folliculitis.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
brand
damn
new.
You're
it. I
allowed
said-
to. I'm just...
I said the F word.
I just woke up this morning and my first thought was just, this is a whole morning of folliculitis.
Yeah,
not
well,
it's not a
look,
scalp.
it's not about Josh or me today.
Yeah.
It's about
It's
Mr.
about
97.
me.
Queen
It's about
Gronk.
Mr. 97, Gemma and Rachel.
Yeah. And so we won't talk about the scalp then. I did have a scalp related question, but you
No,
guys,
do it.
I mean, Rach, I know you're not a dermatologist, but have you heard of folliculitis and do you know anything that you can do to help it?
No.
Okay.
Explain.
It's sort of like a pimply thing on your... It's like pimples on
No,
your
it's
head.
actually like infection of the scalp surface, dude. So
Okay.
it's not a pimple. You got
It's
a
not
pimple?
like
Yeah.
psoriasis, but on the scalp
It's,
specifically.
I mean,
It's a little bit like that, I guess, but there is some form of element that antibiotics can be helpful.
yeah, which is antibiotics are for
for fungi.
Bacteria,
Yeah,
bacterial,
fungi, yeah.
fungal infections.
Yeah.
I always think, I've got a son, he's 2.5 years old. He goes to
Cool dad.
daycare, and I'm a cool dad. I mean, I didn't have to say it because you said it.
Yeah,
But
I was
you did
helping
repeat
you.
it.
I did repeat it, but I'm glad you said it before me.
You're welcome.
Nits, lice.
Oh no.
Like I always think, imagine when you deal with hair, Rach, have you seen them before?
Yeah, and I've had it multiple times. It's
Yeah,
the
I've had
worst.
them as an adult.
The cleaner the
I think I got
hair.
bleach on that, no, you do.
Oh, yeah, no, there is a bit of bleach on it. I'll turn that around.
Do you want to actually just wipe it off?
Yeah, I'll wipe it off.
You're just going to keep it on?
There you go.
Unbelievable. Rode microphones, we're so sorry.
It's gone. It's gone.
All right,
It's
perfect.
gone white.
Are you sniffing it?
I was just smelling it to see. Yeah. But so
Yes.
have you ever had someone come in and you've just looked at their hair and you've gone, oh, dull.
Yeah, but the hard thing is now
Talking like me.
as hairdressers in this industry, we actually can't refuse service when a person comes in with head lice.
Can't you?
Oh really?
No. So, because it's kind of like
Do you have to charge extra at least?
discrimination and stuff.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh
So
my
what we
God.
have to do is still complete the service, let the client know that they've got head lice and that it needs to be treated, and then we have to
Disinfect.
everything.
Could you... Do you ever say it up front so that they, out of their own sort of options, say, actually, you know what?
Well, I think a lot of us, you see something wrong like that, and you feel awkward about bringing it up for them,
Like my scalp.
and so you kind of make it. Like
I
the ending
keep seeing
goes
my
back to yourself because
reflection.
you're not wanting to feel weird,
Well, you try to not make it like it's an issue because it's
but it's a
not-
fucking issue.
It is a fucking issue. But because it's not like someone will get sick from it or anything like that. So we just let them know the correct way to treat it. And
I'm seeing the colour.
It's coming out. It's
I
coming
know.
out.
I don't
Glad
think
you
I've
can
ever
see
been in an
it.
environment with people who are this... I don't want to use the word clueless, but...
Yeah, no, but I wasn't expecting
this
to be
is-
able to see. I would expect that we would wash it off and then
Can you actually
it.
see like just brown coming
Yeah.
off?
No.
How about a brown coming off?
You think that we're washing the brown out of your hair? No.
How about we get an update from Rachel
What's
right
happening?
now?
so when you can see, I don't know, what you guys can probably see. See right off his scalp is slightly lighter than what it is on the very ends.
Yeah.
So naturally our head releases a lot of heat. So about that much of the root area will always lift further and faster than the hair on the rest of the head, which is why I like to lighten all the way through on shorter hair. So we are getting really good lift, but I can tell by...
Lift is the colour, not the
yeah,
way.
it's lightening up. It's lightening really well.
I was like, it looks
But
quite flat.
I can tell this is going to need to process under like a heat machine.
Really?
With a little prompting, it'll come out. Rach, are you single?
Yes, I am.
For a single woman,
Wow.
probably
We've
in the
worked
day,
out
in the, probably,
how much they cost. Like Tommy's great in the sense of he asks all the
Look,
questions.
I'm a married man with
Yeah.
with a kid. Yeah. It's like I just
The
feel
only reason he's married with a kid is so he can ask these questions. Let's be honest.
no, but if you saw a young strapping man that had this
Glad we're
kind
going
of
there.
hair, what's your thoughts?
As in like the end result he's going to have?
Yeah.
I mean, say you nail it and you see him walking down the street, you're like, is that Adam Levine? No, it's just some other guy. But is it appealing? Or is it going to increase his sort of
It's a peacock.
dating capabilities?
Yeah, 100%. I think
Good
that
answer.
once I've created this amazing colour, it will, as he's walking down the street, a lot of women will be like, oh, he takes pride in the way he looks, he really
Yeah.
tries.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
And because I think that's a brand value that you stand by, 97, which is you do try with
Yeah.
things. And so it's just finishing off the brand.
He'll be the guy, I mean, he's young now, he's 19, but when he's that 35-year-old bloke, he'll be the friend to us that has his shit together.
Yeah.
And it's just taken
We're
us a bit
relying
longer.
on his superannuation.
But we've set up our buckets.
Yeah. No, it's great. I'm loving seeing the whole process.
Are you, I mean, this is where we're like in the dating scene. I mean, you have types. You have, and we all know Mr. 97's type. He's gone into detail about it. He got
didn't
forced
really.
he got forced to do it. We don't need to go there. But Gem, I
But
mean, what do you think?
I have thoughts on what he said his type was because I feel like he was put on the spot and perhaps he doesn't have a physical type.
Yeah.
Well,
no, that's what I
anyway,
mean. It was a
just-
bit. It was bullied into
I feel like he
talking.
panicked and
He was just
said some
using
traits.
words. He was using
And-
words. And so, what's your boyfriend?
Yes.
The
Scotty Cam.
Yeah, Scotty Cam. I was tradie. I got there. Scotty Cam. What colour's his hair?
Light brown.
Light brown.
Yes.
Is he a bloke who takes pride in his visual appearance?
Yes, not as much as I would like him to. It's a real point of contention because he lied to me about using a face scrub that I gave to him and really doubled down on the lie. And then I realised it still had the alfoil seal on it.
That's why you need those seals,
That was several months ago now, and I'm still not thrilled.
Not
but
happy with it.
that's okay.
Has he got real tradie hands?
Appalling.
Do you want to feel Josh's
feel
hands?
my hands.
Like these are the softest baby hands.
Oh, that's
They
not
haven't.
mine.
They
They are soft, aren't they?
What are you using?
I use nothing, but the
It's
idea
good.
is-
I use no effort to do any hard work.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? I
my
do.
God.
I actually shock people when I shake their hands out of the softness. I don't know what it really is, but it's
I
just.
think it's lovely. Chris's hands are like an exfoliating mitt. Real sexy stuff.
No, I think
Chris, I need to get this fake tan off my
yeah, just a bit
my
of
stomach. Get it.
A bit of exfoliation.
No, I dissolve that now. I use a foam and it, nice hands tan eraser.
There's coming to a place like a hair salon that you need to go through all of the interactions that us humans need to. There's the greeting. Mr. 97 went in for a hug with Rachel. I think he's
There was the confidence of the camera.
But she's a very
100% the
warm person.
Yeah, I mean, I did give her a kiss.
Your ego boost for the
Yeah.
day.
But it's something like Rachel. Do you think about when you're meeting a new client for the first time how you interact because you are a professional? What's the go-to?
Always to make sure that the client feels comfortable from the moment they walk in. With our salon, we are sitting at around 29 staff members. So on a day that everyone is all here, walking in for the first time can be really intimidating. So I always make sure that from the moment a client walks in that they feel comfortable and confident in what they're going to have. with the evolution of this industry, it's not necessarily about the end result anymore. It's about creating an experience and having a client have a really amazing service. Yeah. So that's what we really heavily educate the staff here to make sure that from the moment that client walks in to the moment they leave, their experience is exactly what they wanted.
I mean, when I was walking past, I actually thought this was a trophy shop. There's a significant amount of trophies. Are there any awards that are specific in the industry that actually awards or measures that sort of stuff? Because to your point, I guess like we're all into the colour and all that sort of thing. But is there anyone or any awards out there specifically for the experience?
Miss Congeniality is what you're asking.
Well, we do have like a mystery shopper sort of person that comes in around every 3 months or so.
Mm-hmm. Undercover boss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mystery shopping.
Yeah, same. And I can pick them out straight away. I know
really.
when
What's the signs of a mystery shopper?
One.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah.
I feel like you don't have much mystery. I feel like you'd walk in there with a crown.
They still fucked up.
Well, majority of the time, the mystery shopper that comes in has more hair experience than the average person. So they always ask the questions that not your average client would. So that's when I can kind of pick up on it.
I sound like a mystery shopper. I ask a lot of...
Yeah, it's because
you
you get the
You come
mystery
across
shopper
as real
job
sus.
because you're a dud spy.
Yeah.
Like you'd be at, it's fine to be caught as a mystery shopper. It's not fine to be caught as a spy.
Actually, I remember that when I was a kid, that was a big sort of job that a lot of people were vying for. Like when you're growing up, the idea of being a mystery shopper was a huge
Maybe
thing.
in the suburbs.
I did
never
it in
even
uni
heard of
when
it.
I would have... when I had just finished working in retail and my old boss was like, hey, you're RMIT, can you duck in to insert name of retailer here and just do a quick mystery shop in between classes? Very easy money.
So, Rachel, the sort of, they come in the experience, the Icebreakers. Mr. 97 is brought to our show before as a piece of content some icebreaker questions for conversation.
Show us your Spotify.
Yeah, what's on what's your latest Spotify list? Like, I mean, when you...
I really liked that. I think it's a much better question than what music do you listen to?
I mean, it's just a...
Do you have any
iteration.
go-to questions, Rachel?
I do, but I kind of carry this on through life whenever I meet anyone new. But my favourite question to ask is...
How much do you make?
100%. No, I've got two questions. One question is if you could live in anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I like that one.
And I always ask, where's your favourite place to holiday and why?
Okay, let's role play this. Take it away, Rachel. You're talking to your client.
Mr. 97.
So, random question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
If he says fucking Melbourne.
Melbourne, no. Somewhere, maybe like somewhere in Spain would be sick. I've no idea. Like
Have you been?
No, it just looks sick in photos.
Okay.
What do you like?
Just you look at
Same thing.
yeah, you look at like John Olsen and stuff. Just like where he lives,
Is
it's
he a
sick.
YouTuber?
Yeah, he's a
He's
YouTuber.
referring to rich YouTubers.
Yeah, you're talking about
whose
having a
wife is a
mansion.
billionaire.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wife's family a billionaire,
Yeah,
so
okay.
they've got villas. I mean,
Tommy's keeping
One of my
track.
girlfriends is living there right now.
Really?
She
In-
works in music publicity.
Does she love it?
She got there 3 days ago. So, yes,
Oh, wow.
most of her.
Great.
So next icebreaker question is gone, son. This is
Weird of me to make that about me.
I love that. I always ask my client, in the consultation, what they do for work, and that always helps me sort of work out what colour to do as well, whether they're in corporate, whether they can have something high fashion, or whether they need something a little bit more natural.
Is
But
this
then-
high fashion?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
But
good,
then
good.
I also
Hope your
ask,
bosses are
Real
okay with
corporate,
it.
yeah.
We love high fashion. I
100%.
mean, look at us. We're high fashion.
I
Tommy's
also
wearing a
ask
bomber.
if they could have any career in the whole world, what would it be? Like if the
like
sky
it.
was the
Answer this
limit.
carefully.
If the sky was the limit and you could have any career, what would it be?
I like these questions.
Yeah,
The one
love
that
it.
I go to is if you had to have one cuisine for the rest of your life,
I can't believe it's food related. Can you, Gemma?
What a shock.
what would it be? And then once you, Rachel, what would your answer be to that? One cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Italian.
Italian,
Easy.
great.
Yeah.
You're Italian.
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Mr. 97, what was that other question? What job would you have? Any job?
Any job.
You know you can fuck this up royally right now.
Any job.
Enjoy your new hair. You're fired.
Yeah. I don't. I don't know. I always thought I'd have my own like business or something eventually down the line, but it's starting to move away towards that just with like the show. I don't know. Being a producer is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being involved in the show is pretty amazing.
You wanted to do marketing, and look where you are.
Yeah.
You're in a salon.
Yeah, it's
the best
crazy.
in Melbourne, getting your hair.
It looks so good. The blonde is really like it's
Sorry,
developing.
I just saw the trophy sitting and
Oh, yeah.
Is
I'm
that
getting
a trophy in your lap, or are you just happy to see
Sorry,
me?
you can. I'll share it.
Oh,
around.
it's so heavy.
I just didn't put it up there because it's just such
it's prominent.
Yeah,
You can
it's
just put it
very
here.
thick set.
Yeah, the blonde is looking beautiful. If you are listening to the audio, go on
Mum.
to
Yeah, this is one of the ones where you need to jump on.
Yeah,
For the
absolutely.
visual.
Karen, feel free to jump in there and get like a nice above shot. Show the people.
I mean,
what's
you really.
happening
I mean, the thing is that you realise how full Mr. 97's hair is because where his hairline is very close to sort of. It's on his forehead, which for me starts a bit further back. Rach, when it comes to eyebrows.
Absolutely not.
Do we need to do anything with the eyebrows?
No.
What could we do?
Very
What
fashion.
could we do with the eyebrows? TJ, Mike?
If someone, yeah,
I would leave the brows for a guy.
Yeah.
But
great.
The weirdest thing is, like, say a person gets like bright pink or green or blue. The weird thing is if they match their eyebrows to that color, it kind of works. Like,
Yeah.
it looks natural, but it's not. But the trend for the longest time was to have really blonde hair and really dark eyebrows. So
He's gonna have that.
I've got that.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
What about dyeing my beard? Because I'm not doing my hair because it'll
I've
probably.
done that before.
What you've dyed a beard?
Yeah, I have. I've like ombre a beard, so it's gone from dark to light.
Oh, it must have to be
Balayage.
longer than mine. Can you do mine?
I can color it 100%, but I wouldn't.
From the best, this is 2019 colorist of the year.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely
taking that
not.
advice.
Oh, well, this is great. Thanks so much, Rach, for doing this. We know that like early morning, especially after a big day of working, we really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Gem, thank you so much for
Yeah.
Pleasure.
hooking this up.
This-
Also, Indy as well, who's done an amazing job
Yeah.
connecting it all.
Simply social management, simply PR management.
Yeah,
And you got a podcast too, don't you? Do you
The
do a
Social
podcast?
Report.
The Social
The
Report.
social
Amazing.
report.
Live on Spotify.
And
Yeah, it's on Spotify.
Joey Scandizzo Salon, Aaron from Kings Domain.
Domain Barbers.
What legends everyone's been.
Yeah.
I
Getting
mean,
You're
behind Mr.
welcome.
97. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if it was to, when we do this sort of stuff, I always think how lucky we are that we have Mr. 97, who's a great
bully.
sport. But, I mean, the fact is, on Monday or Tuesday night, I literally just did a comment saying if this gets 50 likes, Mr. 97 is going to bleach
Yeah.
his hair. And
he
I logged
lowballed it,
into
Rachel. We got a
all
lot
my
more than
accounts.
50. A lot more than 50. It's funny because a lot of people want to get behind these things and see someone do something that they wouldn't normally do. And this is, Mr. 97, proud of you, mate. When you started with us, you were a timid little fox, and now you're a lion.
yeah,
He's a man.
you're a peacock. Well, I'm looking forward to after this. I'm going to go take out the 1DX with an 85mm lens, and we're going to
Few
get
photos.
some new headshots.
Oh,
great.
yeah. This is
Some
going to be
really
amazing.
beautiful.
And
Oh yeah, I need to teach him how to model. 'cause
Great.
I got a little
A
worried.
little, yeah, he's a little, as Karen described him, stiff. A little stiff.
And Rachel, you've got a YouTube channel. What is it?
I do have a YouTube channel. It's called How To Hair.
You do stuff on like loose curls. I was learning about loose curls the other day.
That is my most recent video. I just have hair on my face. Can you?
Yeah. Classic.
Hey.
This is
Thanks.
friendship.
Friendship right
It's
there.
developing, just like the hair.
Essentially, I break down hairstyles so people watching can learn how to do their hair at home.
What's
Get around the high pony one. We did a masterclass together.
Yeah.
And when they said, oh, she's going to teach everyone how to do the perfect high ponytail, I was like, how are we going to stretch that out into an hour? It's the best thing I've ever seen in my
Really?
life.
What
And
is
all
the
my
secret of a high
Well,
pony?
it's all about getting the line right, because too
Yes.
high and it gets a little bit cheerleader, too low and it drags your features down.
Exactly right.
But if you go, is it from the
High ponytail's cheekbone, aligning with
cheekbones?
cheekbone.
You go zoop, and then it
low
lifts
with the
everything.
jaw.
What about Tommy? This is the first time he's ever done a man bun.
Oh, it's just at the point where I can pull it back now. So
But the
completely. I just
Actually,
need to get it
previous-
sort of
Really
trimmed.
good
Actually,
height.
you aligned in with your cheek?
Yeah.
I need to get it cleaned up. I don't know. Can you
Well,
just?
I mean, previous to this, the thing is that Tommy has, I think, I pride him on having really great hair.
I've got a few comments in my time.
And so, but I think the man bun is a bold. I don't think it's like the go-to.
I mean, a few gays have said to
very
me,
north
it's
side
a bit
of you,
late,
I
2
think.
years late.
Yeah.
I just told them to fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That'd be my
there's
approach.
been a few stylish people who have said that. I'm trying to find a photo on Instagram
What are
before
you
we
trying-
go.
what is it
Of
of?
you with your hair. Here you go. See the one that there's Tommy with his his hair pre.
I just,
The
yeah. What do you
boys.
think?
a
I
quiff,
prefer it where it is now.
a quiff, a quaff, quaff. What is it called? A quiff.
Quiff.
It's definitely not
Definitely
a
not.
queef.
I wouldn't have thought.
Anyway,
Right.
you can Google that.
It's a daily talk show. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Thanks for
And
everyone who's in this room right now.
Yeah,
Karen,
Hayden did.
absolute ninja on that.
on the gimbal.
on the gimbal. And
Honey.
working title, Honey.
Do you like honey?
Working nickname. No, he's not a fan. Not a fan.
I'm a fan of honey.
Lebanese Rambo. You'd prefer that? I can't remember what I called you on the phone. I call you many.
Lebanese warrior.
That's
Lebanese warrior.
nice.
Yeah.
Lebanese warrior.
3D
Yeah.
deal also behind the camera. It's a big operation here.
It's stinging a little bit.
Yeah.
It
Is it
just-
okay though?
Yeah. It
It's
just feels
tingling.
like a few
It's
chilies have
tingling,
just
not
been
stinging.
rubbed on.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
never had a
Love
face
that.
peel, doll.
Yeah.
Talk to
Wait,
me.
was your hair washed before?
Yeah.
You got a cut?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
the thing-
yeah, he did.
Would you not have washed it? Should we not have
Did
washed
it have
with,
it?
with an on-scalp lightener, I wouldn't recommend having a fresh wash
Okay.
because your cuticle's still open.
Okay, sure. We'll
But
cut that
you'll
bit.
be fine.
He's
We'll be
fine.
We'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I
the
put
coconut
acid on
oil.
my face most
the
nights.
coconut.
so it's
All
fine.
that coconut oil, you'll be sweet.
That's perfect. All right, it's a daily talk show. Have a
Make sure
good-
you check out tomorrow's episode. Though,
Oh, yeah.
Because if you'll see Mr. 97.
Yes.
With this on the desk at the Daily
Yeah,
Talk Show
we've got
studio.
Trev Long on tomorrow as well. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.